that's odd, isn't it? 3 drinks and there's only 2 of us.
3 of us.
Oh yeah. Oh, hold on. Oh look, Brewdog beer biscuits. Oh nice. Woo. Right, bit of a late start today. Too many ales last night. That was Rafi, not me. So we're going to put in some curtains here. We already know what type of curtains they are. I may not have shown you, but just for your benefit, they are just the cloth ones that run on a little track. They're going to fit top and bottom. I think they're press studded. We've had them before in the T5. They're effective, they're good, they're relatively cost effective, they're not expensive, they block out the light. It's everything you need. They're black. More importantly, they're in the house already, so they'll be going up. So what have we got here? We've got the shower cubicle that's going to come somewhere around here, up to here. We're going to have a bench seat that goes across here, certainly temporarily, and we're going to have some kind of a shelving system up here because I've got a control panel going up here as well, and a couple of lights, etc. So shelf's going to go up here. I think of course we need to insulate inside here, we need to insulate in here. We've fully sound deadened, and we've put this insulation on as well, but we're going to have some of that plastic fiberglass wall thing, if that makes sense, whatever it is. And we'll be doing the same down the bottom. The one thing that I don't know what I'm going to do yet, but I do recognise is we've got a lot of gap in there. I mean, that's nearly 4 inches. Or 100 mil in new money. So, you know, what do I do? Do I put little storage pouches in there? I don't know. I'm scratching my head. But what I do know is we're going to cut a piece of plywood, a bit like the rear of the van. We're going to cut out around the window, and we're going to tweed cover that piece of plywood. So that's going to be the covering for that wall. So inside here, I think I need to build a wooden frame just around here, across the top, down the sides. I think I'm going to cover it in 4-way stretch. It's going to come out as far as the edge of the window reveal so that the plywood sits right on top of it. But the plywood will come in a little bit just so that we're covering that track. And we're making a nice sort of profile, if you like, sort of edged profile. I'm making no sense. If I show you what I'm doing, it might make more sense. Let's see if we've got any wood. I do have some wood. In fact, I have a shit ton of it. But is it the right sort of wood? Because it looks pretty rubbish to me. There you go. Surprised myself. We have got some of this. I've just cut this off so I can measure it. And as you can see, the width is pretty perfect. This is CLS, which is short for Canadian Lumber Standard. Machine finished. Smooth edge. None of those really matter because I'm going to cover it in 4-way stretch, so let's see how we get on. All I've done is cut that CLS. I've cut the corners off, as you can see. The reason I've done that is because it kind of bends in there and you can't really get your square in. The plywood is going to come over the edge of here. It's going to curve around the corners, come over the edge. So all you're going to see really is this inside reveal, if at all anything. Most probably more top and bottom, which is why it's just 4-way stretch on the face of here. And really this isn't needed. The only reason I've got it is just so it's a nice sort of corner, just in case it starts peeling back really. I'm sure you know what I mean. As you can see, I haven't got any on the top. And all I've done really is adhered that with some kind of, I don't know what the bloody code is for this glue, but it's supposed to be good stuff. So that's one. I'm losing the light now, so I'll do the other one and we'll see how we get on. Of course, the other one is going to be a little bit different because, stand by, we've got a little bit of a funny corner there, so I'm not really sure what I'm going to do, you know, as you can see. I think what I'll do is most probably come up here because you're not going to get the curtain track around there anyway. But yeah, I'll scratch my head about that. That's a job for another day. More B&Qing. He's refused to get out the van. Give me bloody strength, honestly. Look at the state of this, like a bloody spaghetti jungle or something. Right, you may have noticed I didn't shout too much when I got back to the van at B&Q. Ruth was on the phone to the mother-in-law. Anyway, back to this. Believe it or not, it's been a month since I last spoke about this, and all I've managed to do is squirt a little bit of foam on it. Okay, so anyone who knows anything about plywood sheets, you will know that they are sold in 8 foot by 4 foot sheets. Now I know from pretty much that edge there, which is where we're going to come from, to somewhere around here, which is where our shower wall is coming to, I've got to get a piece of plywood. So if we're going to measure from there to here, we're talking just over 5 foot, which means you're not going to get it widthways. You ain't going to get your 4 foot in there, which is a bit of a shame, because 4 foot widthways, if we were going this way, only comes down to here, the edge of here. So that means we're going to have to use 5 foot of the 8 foot, if that makes sense, and 4 foot from there down to about here, which means we're going to have to get another sheet or whatever we do to complete down the bottom, which is a little bit of a pain in the arse and going to be a little bit costly, but that's what we're faced with. So what I plan on doing is cutting the sheet down to 5 foot, and we'll have the 4 foot from here to here. I need to cut out my little grooves, so let's cut out 3. 1, 2, 3, so that we can push the wood all the way up. I'm then going to roughly cut out a big hole in the centre of there. That will not be our finished hole. The reason I'm cutting out that big hole there is because I do want a lip to come, can you see me past the spaghetti? I do want the lip to come just past here. So what I'm going to do is attach it once I've got my rough hole in there, and I'm going to scribe inside with a pencil, hopefully on the back of the plywood. Once I've done that, I'll be able to measure down the gap that I need, so I don't know, 1/2 inch maybe? Put a nice little corner on it and cut that out neatly, and temporarily screw that onto the side of there. The reason I'm going to do that is so that I can fit my curtains, because we've got a journey down to Dorset very soon, so we can collect the rest of the units and the shower tray, the kitchen, the oven, other bits and pieces, and we need to get curtains up here so that we can sleep in that bed overnight. And before we start, it's a template. There we go, one bit of board in place. Now then, the reason that I didn't film me cutting that was because I couldn't find my jigsaw. For those who follow the channel, you'll know that we're moving house. That means that Ruth moves my stuff about. She's at work, I've messaged her, she mentions a bag, she mentions a box. I don't know where my stuff is, so I've had to use a router. I'm not very good with routers, so I didn't want you to see me making a cock up of it. But anyway, it's up at the moment. I've been to the other side. That sounds ominous. I've been around the other side of the van. The window's open. I've put a mark on the back of the window so I can see roughly where I need to cut. I'm going to take it down and I'm going to cut it now with aforementioned router. Let's see how we get on. Before I start, that's my crap markings. Can you see that? So I better measure the window and get that marked out properly. Now, I don't know if you can see this, but that's pretty much the size that I want it. cut the size. Not finished off yet because I need to get the electric sand around it just to make it nice and finished looking. That's pretty much the size I want, so sort of that lip is about 3/4 of an inch, close to an inch all the way around. I've got my curtains to put inside there. Of course, I might have mentioned this is going to be tweed. You can just see below here I'm going to build a little bit of a frame out here, and I'll be putting my 1/4 inch ply on there, and that is going to be 4-way stretch on the bottom, sort of sticking out a little bit further than this tweed covering. Don't ask me why, it's just what I want to do. Above here, let me put the camera up a bit. There we go. Right, above here, oh yeah, you're going to see it. This is going to be cut out, and my wires are going to be pulled through here because that's going to be where my control panel is. Just to the side of here, if you take a look. Oh, hello. There we go. That is where the shower cubicle is going to come to. And then all the way along here is going to be open shelf, or have we ordered a cabinet? Open shelf, I believe. So open shelf. This will be built out with the control panel on it and the power meter that will link back to all the Victron back there. I think that's pretty much it for today, guys. I think I'll call it a day, but needless to say, tomorrow, which I won't film, I'll be doing the other side. Oh my days, is that the sun? I better get this going, don't I? Well, the sun's gone in, but we haven't, have we, Ralph? How's that look? Is that looking a bit better? Well, it's the weekend, and as promised, Ruth and I are going to work on the van together. Oh, hang on a minute. Now she's in town with the girls. Judging by that, maybe it's for the best. Anyway, what have we been doing? Now, when the sun was out yesterday, it might not have been so clear what was happening, but what I'd done is I'd cut some of this plywood here, I'd built a frame on the back of it, and I lay it on top of my 4-way stretch carpet. So what you didn't see me doing is spraying it with glue, stretching the carpet around it, and actually fitting this beast to the wall. This here is going to be my USB cable, and that's going to be going on a bit of an armrest that's going to be coming out here where the bench seat is going. You'll see here we've got a bit of a gap between the board here and the board here. Looks a little bit unsightly. Don't worry, we've got a shower cubicle which is pretty much that width there that's going to fit in here. Hence you can see the toilet which Ruth has already used. That's almost a finished article with the tweed covering. We have got, let me just tilt that camera a bit. We've got, see with the cables coming through there, that's going to have a wooden standoff piece that we're going to put the switches on, and we're going to have an open shelf across the top of there too. Okay, I think that's pretty much it for this episode. There's only one thing I did want to point out, and that was these curtains have been altered somewhat. They are just the blackout curtains that are on many a website. I really can't remember where these came from. Ruth ordered them, and I would ask her, but she's still uptown with the girls, gone to a karaoke bar. But they were, they're designed to fit into the actual aperture of the window. As you're well aware, I've built a wooden framework, so I've had to have them altered slightly, shortened, which didn't cost me too much, and we also had to alter the tracks as well. because of course they were curved to go around the aperture, so we've cut them off with the grinder and we've straightened them out. But you know, this is what I wanted, so we've had to alter them a little bit. Now with regard to the curtains, the timing is perfect, because I don't doubt within a week or so we're going to get a call from Evo Design down in Poole in Dorset, and they're going to ask us to travel down there and collect our units. So I would imagine the next episode will focus around our journey down there. As ever, thanks for watching guys, and I will catch you again soon. Take care.